Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
Welcome back to the channel.
Welcome back. I'm bummed.
Me too.
I'm very bummed. As everyone knows, we'll see by the title, everyone who watches soccer knows what happened with Mal and everything. But as soon as I read about the extent of her injury or what they're releasing so far, it just bummed me out. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. I'm bummed.
Sucks. I hate it. I hate when such an important player, I mean, any player really, gets injured, especially like this. I mean, didn't look good. We'll get into it.
Yeah, bummed for her, bummed for the team, bummed for the fans, you know. In that order, her team fans, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But how's it going, everyone? We're going to talk about a little about the game that happened yesterday against Ireland. And Sara and I actually did not watch it live. We were not home. We recorded it. So we kind of knew what had happened after we had already watched it. So we were a little bit delayed on watching it, but we definitely watched it. And first and foremost, it was such an exciting game to begin with, you know, with all the factors that were going into it. Them playing Ireland. Ireland's a top-notch team. They're going to the World Cup. I don't know if it's the first time they're going. I'm not exactly, but they were kind of surprise qualification to some that they were in the World Cup. They beat Scotland, so they're going to the World Cup. They're like on a 9-game non-losing streak. You know, they're top-notch.
And also the return of Julie Ertz.
I mean, pumped.
She came back, got her 100th cap.
Yeah, the ceremony. Did you see the ceremony with the baby?
Yeah.
So cute. And so pumped to see her back. So it was an exciting game, just the pretense to it. Also, they had their new kits on. I mean, I will say this. I really liked their Olympic with the maize print. I really liked those. I was a big fan of those kits. I just really like the big boldness of them. But I do really like these kits. They're paint splattered kits. I believe that's what they're calling them. Julie had her comeback and also 100 cap ceremony. So a lot of exciting things going into the game. So I guess we'll get into the game. Not so much, we're not going to talk too much about the game. But, starting out, it was a feisty game. And, that's one of the things that I think a lot of people said, is that one of the reasons why Mal maybe, it turned out poorly for Mal? I'm not sure. In the first 10 minutes, the first 5 minutes, Ireland had a lot of control, a lot of possession. Yeah. They won a lot of balls. They were not messing around. They were in it to win it. And, Alyssa had to make a lot of saves. There was a bunch of saves in the first half, also in the second half, that Alyssa really had to make the saves on. And
she's so beautiful when she's doing her thing.
Yeah, I know.
Beautiful. What an art.
She looked great. There was a lot of physicality out there. There was a lot of players.
Definitely a physical game.
A lot of players going down. A lot of tackles. A lot of kind of hard tackles.
Everyone's taking each other out.
Ireland plays that type of game. Some people think USA needs to play more of a game like that. I've heard critiques that say USA should play more of an aggressive game like that. That style. I don't think everyone is a fan of that who plays the opposite team of those aggressive type teams. Mm-hmm. But sometimes that's the way the game is. Sometimes
that's the way you got to go to get things done.
Yeah. And, a lot of people, in every game, sometimes the referee, some people think one team gets away with things that they shouldn't. But that's every game. You know what I mean?
Right,
that's every game, every sport. That's just the way it goes. A lot of things happen. We're not going to talk about specifics. I guess we'll start with Mal going down in the 24th minute. She went down.
Yeah, it looked like she just collided with the goalie, like just their bodies hit, and then Mal's head looked like it went straight into the goalie's like arm or body.
Right.
And she just got stunned. I mean, you always an injury like that, you could affect your head, spine. It looked scary.
So that was in the 24th minute. She was down for a time. And then, the question is she going to come out? How serious is this? Is this some, precautionary? And I think a lot of people thought it was 50-50 whether or not she was going to come out. But then she got up after a while, a few minutes, and then she went back in the game.
Yeah.
I saw online a lot of rumblings of people saying, hindsight is always 50-50. If she would have come out at that moment, then later in the game, she would have never had the injury. I don't think you could really think like that because you just never know. Uh-huh. But I guess the question is, should she have actually been taken out at that point as a precaution?
If you're not injured, from that collision, then what's the point of taking you out if you're fine?
Yeah. So it was kind of like at that point, should she have come out? Who knows? But she didn't. But she looked good. She looked good after that. Again, the game was a physical game. The United States looked okay, looked good. But Ireland's a great team. They're a really good team. So Then the first goal of the game we had was in the 37th minute, and Emily Fox scores her first goal ever for country, for the United States women's national team, and she scores a beautiful goal. I mean, it was a beautiful goal.
Yes, it was so good.
Kind of just snuck right in the left corner of the goal, kind of went cross-body to everybody. I don't know if I guess she shot at the goal. I don't think she was trying to pass, but that was a great goal. Great to see.
Yeah.
She was pumped. And so first goal, 1-0. Went up, feeling okay, feeling good, but still, United States, they didn't really have control of the game, but it was feeling pretty good. Then just a few minutes later, this is where
the big injury happened.
Yeah. So I believe it was in the 40th minute, 39th minute. Mal Swanson, I knew she got hurt. And I will tell you this, we were watching and I didn't want to see the actual impact really, because I don't like injuries like that. It gets me really squeamish. I don't like it. So I really didn't watch the injury, but you saw it, Sarah, and you said it didn't. Did you see them actually collide? I know she collided with one of the Irish players.
It just looked like her foot, the Irish player's foot, kind of, I don't even know. Like, it didn't look bad, but Mal's reaction, like, she immediately started just, like, crying in pain. Like, I've never seen her cry so much for an injury. She was hurt in the 40th minute of the game at Q2 Stadium in Austin, Texas, after contact with Ireland's Alfie Mannion. Swanson cried out in pain as her teammates signaled to the sidelines for the training staff. The emotions run high regardless of what kind of injury, Coach Vlatko told reporters after the game.
She was immediately crying. I did see that. And I saw a couple of the other players. It even looked like Lindsey had kind of wiped away a tear or something.
It looked like she, like, immediately when it happened, it looked like she, like, held on to Rose, like in pain. Like, she grabbed at her, like she was in so much pain. Ugh.
Right.
And then you can kind of see, like, they showed, like, there's a shot of her knee. Like her kneecap, I don't know. It looks gnarly.
Yeah, it looks kind of out of place.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, like
I
dislocated.
Saw that. At that point, I think everyone knew that it was bad, serious. But it's always like you're always hoping for the best, but you pretty much know something like that is probably really bad. I mean, you think. I mean, there's always times you just don't know. You just don't know, actually.
Right.
So I guess we'll get to the end and talk about the what has just come out. But we'll talk a little bit about the game, and then we'll go to Mal's injury at the very end. Timestamps down below. So that happened, and then she was down, and she got carted off the field. I mean, she was in okay spirits because she was waving at the crowd, to let them know, I'm okay.
Yeah, giving a thumbs up.
Thumbs up. I'm okay, whatever, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I saw the hearts with her hands.
Yeah.
That she wanted just to let the fans know, hey, I'm fighting,
Yeah.
Must have been hard for her at that moment.
And they were chanting her name.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. And then she was talking to the medic. I saw her talking to the medic. So we knew how bad it was at that point, that wasn't good. In the second half, I don't know. I felt like the second half, the fight was a little more intense for the U.S. women's team, maybe.
Yeah.
They were just saying, like, we're going to do this for Mal. We're going to do this for Mal. Yeah. Because the second half was better. But then... second half was better. In the 67th minute, this is where, it's so crazy. It's so wild. Upset, so sad for Mal, what's happened to Mal, even though we don't know the extent. And then something so exciting is about, comes up for Julie Ertz to come in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like such a swing of emotions, from so bummed to like, oh my God, I'm pumped. I'm so excited to see Julie Ertz. But in the 67th minute, Julie Ertz comes in. Becky gives her the armband, the captain's armband.
Yeah, the crowd's going wild. Everyone's excited to see her.
Yeah, crowd went wild. And she comes in right in the 67th minute, and she means business right as soon as she comes in.
She gets a yellow card.
Yeah, she got a yellow card within like 4 minutes. But she gets a yellow card, but she was, she was on balls. She was hurt, so much energy. It was almost like an adrenaline rush she had,
she had it. She hasn't been, this is the first time she's playing in a long time.
Yeah.
So she looked like she was ready.
Yes.
To do the damn thing.
She was pumped. She was all over the place. She was, she had a couple, there was one where she was trying to make a header and her whole body.
Oh, yeah.
kind of flew. But she was really pumped. And you could just tell the excitement from her play, that she was ready, that she wanted to show everyone, hey, I might not have played in almost 2 years, but I'm ready. I'm fit. I mean business. I'm serious about what's going on here.
Yeah, she was all over the field. She was trying to get in the goal, trying to get there, and the coaches are telling her to, pull back a little bit. Yeah.
So she comes in, and then in the 80th minute, there was a penalty on Ireland, and some people thought this was a bit of a soft penalty. The commentators that were commentating, Julie, and I don't know, and the other male commentator, he thought it was a soft penalty, but the Irish player kind of runs into Lindsey.
Kind of pulled her down by her jersey.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty hefty tug, know. It was a pretty hefty tug, and Julie thought it was definitely a penalty.
Yeah.
And then Lindsey took the PK, and as I don't know if a lot of people saw this, but if you follow the Champions League, Lindsey had a very important penalty kick for the Champions League with Lyon in the semifinals that she missed. Oof. Just a couple weeks ago, and she was devastated. I remember seeing, she was upset. I think a lot of fans online kind of gave her a hard time about how you missed the goal. You missed the PK.
You guys put yourself in this situation. You'll probably miss.
So she probably had, I think everyone had that on their mind with going into that penalty.
She redeemed herself.
She made it. So at that point, it was 2-0. And the Irish players weren't backing down. We know Katie McCabe, she's on. Yeah. She was not backing ever. She's never going to back down. Also, there was one part where LaRusha was holding her back, said, "Hey, don't get too fired up here. Don't get kicked out or anything." It was the 80th minute. And then it ended 2-0 USA. So it was kind of a wild game. The takeaways, I think, mostly were Julie Ertz looked really good. She transformed. A lot of people think she transformed the whole game when she came in. She was setting up plays, she was setting up balls. She was really involved. Instant game changer when she came in. People noticed that, and people said, yes, this is what we need. This is why Julie is back. She looked great. She looked... obviously she hasn't played in 2 years, but she really is an impact player. She was an impact player the moment she got out there.
Yeah, love to see it. It was very exciting. Her interview at the end of the game was so cute. She had so much energy. She didn't even know how to act. She didn't even know what to do.
She didn't know how to use a mic.
Yeah, she was so out of control in the best, cutest way.
Yeah, she was pumped.
She was so happy and so excited.
You could tell how pumped she was and how excited she was to be there. And that was exciting to see as a fan, that she was so excited to be back. So they won, excited about the win, but also, Mal. That was always in the back of everyone's mind. How's Mal? What's the status? So I don't know if we got this last night or this morning by the time we are doing this video, but we got the news that they released a statement. We got the update on Mal, and U.S. Women's National Teams released this statement.
Swanson tore the patella tendon in her left knee in yesterday's match against Ireland. We're with you all the way, Mal.
So that's the official injury at this point, that it is a torn patella. I guess a torn patella tendon, a torn patella. And I don't know much about anatomy, how it works, but based on the comments, it does not sound good. It sounds like a long recovery. It pretty much, from the comments, not from anything released, but it sounds like it's a World Cup season-ending injury / missing the World Cup injury. Ugh. Yes. Meg Lenahan on Twitter said, "We know nothing about the severity of the tear, and Swanson is heading Chicago for further evaluation. But this does not seem like a quick recovery process by any stretch."
Yeah.
It sounds season ending. It sounds like she'll miss the World Cup, and I'm gutted. On Twitter, someone says, Mets pitcher suffered the same injury recently. His recovery time was listed at 8 months.
Oh.
It definitely sounds like a World Cup missing injury, and
unfortunately,
I mean, I'm speechless. I'm so sad for her. I'm so sad for the team, the fans, of course, but her. I'm so gutted for her.
I know, it sucks. She was doing so well with the team.
I know.
She was on fire.
She was scoring every game. She had scored multiple goals. She really was on track to have an amazing World Cup, to do things at the World Cup, set fire to the World Cup, She really was on track to do that. And also by being injured a couple of seasons ago, kind of falling off a little bit, not going to the Olympics, she still had injury issues, but she wasn't at top form. But now her being at top form and this happening now, absolutely gutted for her, for the team. Just can't believe it. Can't believe it.
I know. Ugh, it's awful.
Because we think about, Beth Mead when she got injured, top of her game, top, injured.
Yeah.
I actually did read a quote from her saying, don't count her out of the World Cup just yet. I did read that recently.
Yeah.
Also, Viv, same thing. Sounds like out of the World Cup. She's out of the World Cup, playing. And it just takes 1 second for you to be playing great and the next minute out of the World Cup.
I know.
So bummed for her. I mean, we don't know exactly. Nothing has come out from exactly where she will be, the long-term recovery process for this, but I don't know. And I saw a lot of people online saying they blame Vlatko for not taking her out. They blame, not really the Irish players, because that's the way the sport goes, but just blame, just trying to make sense of it, to be honest. Oh, and then also said Alyssa Thompson will take Mal's place at the next game on the roster for U.S. Women's National Team. But I guess we don't know, everyone in the comments wishing Mal a speedy recovery. Yeah, a lot of people are saying just let me go cry my eyes out. I think that's how a lot of people feel or felt.
I know. Yeah, totally.
But I guess we'll hopefully get more information. And, that's sports. 1 minute you're on top of the world, next minute you're injured and you're down. And it's horrible.
That's sports for you.
And, we still don't know the progress of Kat Macario. It sounded like she was on track. Now, who knows? It sounds like she's a little behind the track they thought she was going to be. Kristen, we don't know where she is at. All these players getting hurt. But yeah, this is just devastating. Feels so bad. And, what does this mean for the U.S. Women's National Team? Mal was a lock for the World Cup. There was very few locks for the World Cup roster going for the summer. She was one of those absolute locks, I believe. Now she's...
I agree.
Now it's kind of like, see where it's at. What does everyone think? Happy for Julie. Julie looked great. I think that was such a positive overall with Julie. The biggest roller coaster of emotions.
I know. All in one game.
All in one game, exactly.
All in an hour and a half.
I know. And congrats to Emily Fox getting her first goal as well. So exciting, It was, the movie, The Tragedy. It was a happiness and it was a tragedy.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
Yes, exactly. Questions, comments down below. We'll talk to everyone later. Have a great night.
Bye. And just a little update. I watched the second game. Sara's currently at her dad's house. She'll be back soon. But I watched the second game, and I'm not really going to get into the details of it. I just want to point out a few things, and then I'll do a Mal update. So the second game ended 1-0. The U.S. won. Becky Sauerbrunn got her 200th cap. This game. She was playing back in her hometown legend. But Becky almost got a header. She almost scored. Oh my God, it would have been so iconic because, her whole family was there for her ceremony. And I mean, that would have been such a special moment and a special night. I mean, it's still iconic. She's still amazing, and she did really well. I mean, she's Becky freaking Sauerbrunn. In the 43rd minute, Alana Cook scored on her birthday, and it was her first international goal. So a lot of wild things happened during the game, but that was really cool. Mal Swanson posted an update. She posted on her Instagram. She says, "This is hard. I'm in shock and don't have much to say other than thank you to everyone for the messages. I feel the love and prayers and holding them close to my heart. Surgery this morning was a success. I'm thankful for my trainers, doctors, coaches, and teammates for their help throughout this process. The beauty out of all of this is that God is always good. He's got me and always has." So Mal officially had surgery, but it was a success, and she's sounding very optimistic and very grateful, but also bummed, that she's going through this and that happened. But okay, well, that was a little update.
Questions, comments down below. We'll talk to everyone soon.